Today we'll talk about who you need on your team, what kind of roles do you need to fill to run a successful apparel business. When you're a founder and you start up a clothing brand, you typically take on several of these roles yourself, but we're going to go through all of the roles that we see are needed in a clothing brand. And as you expand, you can employ new people to take on these roles.
Of course, many of the things you can do yourself, and you yourself first need to figure out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what do you like to do, what do you hate to do. First make those lists so you know for yourself what you're capable of and what you want to delegate. And also, you won't be able to grow a business if you're alone. It's completely impossible. We've started and run 2 own clothing brands. We had a team. Even though we're 2 people, we still had a team because you know so much. And the time is only 24 hours per day. And you need to, do all the marketing, do all the design, do all the communication with the factory, do all the content writing. All these things take time. You won't be able to do this alone.
So one position that you need is a market researcher. This is a person that understands the market, follow the trends, follow what's going on. You want to know what's happening out there so you don't copy what others are already doing.
Of course, it's good that you yourself kind of are up to speed with what's going on. You might be visiting fairs, you might be reading blogs, you might be getting newsletters from the industry. You yourself, as the leader, need to know what's going on. But you might, for example, go to an agency and say, okay, what are the latest trends? Or buy trend books, for example, to make sure that you're staying on trend and also that you're creating products that you know are good for the coming season.
You're selling apparel products, so you will need a designer. This is the core. The designer will make sure you have a products and a collection that stands out and make your brand different from the others out there on the market.
And in design, of course, it can be graphic, it can be finding materials, it can be sketching, it can be creating tech packs, it can be all these things. But if this is not your core competency, please outsource this. And I know many people think, oh, I have opinions. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. But even though if you don't have a design background, if you don't actually have training and don't understand pattern making, don't understand garment construction, don't understand materials, please outsource this because this is going to be your business. Have someone that knows what they're doing, have experience in this, knows the ins and outs of the industry, functions, fit, construction, all these things, because they will be crucial for your success. They will also be able to take your vision way further than you have in your own head or you think, because you will have your limitations if you're not a designer, if you don't have any experience in the industry.
And if you're looking for a designer, make sure they have done the type of products that you're creating. Let's say you're making activewear and you find a designer that's only been working with fashion. That designer might lack some of the knowledge needed in order to create that activewear.
That's not a good match, I'm going to say, because I've been a designer for over 22 years and this is our competency. As you guys know, besides apparel entrepreneurship, we also run the strategy, branding and design agency called Designer. We work primarily with sports and outdoor brands from the whole world. And it's we also work with fashion businesses, fashion brands that come to us and want the tech side and the fit and the technicality materials from the outdoor and sports world. And it's a huge difference. You've got seaming, you've got the material, you've got construction, you've got a completely different fit in the garment for a product that's going to perform, which is what activewear do. They need to perform for a person, not just look pretty on a body. So it's, again, if you don't have this competency, please get it somewhere else.
If you watched our video about how to find manufacturers, you know it's a lot about problem solving when it comes to product development and production. So you will need a product developer in charge of the communication between your brand and the manufacturer and the suppliers.
Of course, you can do this yourself, but if you don't really know what you're doing, there's a lot of things you need to figure out. There's a lot of mistakes you can make that can be very time consuming and cost you a lot of money. So again, if product development is not your strength, get someone else on board that knows the language, that knows the conversation rhythm, that knows how to create and construct and make sure that the product is as good from the inception, from the ideation to all the way out to the final product in the customer's hand.
And you will need a buyer who is responsible for getting all the materials in time for the production and for the product development. So this buyer will be responsible for placing the orders, both for sample orders and for the production orders.
If you're working with a manufacturer that has this as one of their services, then this is great. But if not, then of course you need to get someone on your team that can do all the buying and place all the orders, etc. But most of the time, if you're a startup, you don't need a buyer, because then you're the person doing the communication and the factory actually placing all the orders. But this is something you might need and you will need if you're growing a team.
And you will need someone to create your patterns. You will need a pattern maker. Most large brands, they have their own pattern makers, but also many brands, they outsource this. And you can also ask the manufacturers. They often have pattern makers in-house that can help you create the patterns.
Of course, if you're growing, to have a pattern maker, a super skilled pattern maker that knows the brand, that knows the exact fit that's specific for your brand, this is like utopia. Most of the time you're a small brand, so you don't have this in-house and you outsource it to the factory. But later, if you're going to grow a brand, if you're going to be a big brand, then this is a huge strength, because fit is one of your key differentiators in the market based on the other competitors. So having consistency in your fit and having an engineered fit is really, really crucial for the success of your products and the sales.
When you produce your garments, you will need someone in charge of quality control. If you're a large brand, you can have a quality controller locally visiting the manufacturers to make sure they reach your specific quality level.
Or you employ a third-party company that can do this for you, that is non-biased. One really crucial part that you need to get almost ASAP, I would say person number 2, number 3, number whatever, really, really close, let's say you're the founder, is someone that takes care of your content. And in today's world, with social media, with everything happening online, with all the content that needs to be produced in order to get visibility for your business, in order to get sales, a content person or a content team is crucial. You should almost think of your brand as a content machine, almost like a media brand more than a product brand. That's how much content you need to create. First of all, remember about the enormous amount of content that you need to create even before you launch to actually have customers ready to shop when you open the website and when you launch your brand. You don't want to be opening your website and people come to the website and it's like 2 people, your mom and your friend, coming to the website. You want thousands of people coming because they're excited for the launch. So there's a lot of anticipation, a lot of work, a lot of getting everybody excited for the launch before you open everything. So behind the scenes, product text and videos, a lot of SEO content talking about the type of product, talking about your brand, talking about the vision, the mission, the core values, talking about yourself as the founder, talking about the team, talking about your manufacturers. All these things need to be talked about to make sure that people connect to your brand and your values and kind of like you're a good match and they want your product. Also, you will need a sales person, sales responsible, manager, whatever you want to call this type of person. Because even if you're launching or even if you're a startup and you might have started with only D2C, in order to have a diverse sales and business operations, you need different types of sales channels. So your own website, or you might go with some agents, or you might go with some retailers or wholesale shops, or you might do pop-ups. You need you need several types of touch points with your customers in order to diversify your sales.
And if you're just selling D2C, you need someone in charge of the sales there as well, because your customers will not come by themselves. Someone at your brand needs to be in charge of your sales, otherwise you're out of business. You will need a CEO for your brand. This is the person in charge of everything at your brand. This person has the overview of all the different departments, all the different roles, should be on top of things, be there to help coordinate and help to solve problems so everyone can do their proper job.
This is an operational position. And no, just because you're the founder, it does not necessarily mean that you should be the CEO. Just want to put it out there, because some people think it automatic that just because I'm the founder, I'm the CEO. No, if you don't like being a CEO and doing the things that a CEO needs to be doing, then you should not be the CEO. Then it's better for you to be the creative director, for example. Or the marketing person, or whatever things, taking care of other things that you like doing and that you're good at doing, and letting other people do what they are good at so you can grow your business.
Then you need someone in charge of all your tech. It can be your in-house systems. This can be if you have your D2C website. It can be social media, all kind of platforms you're working with. If you're creating content media, videos, at least you need a person that understands what you need so you can coordinate this with outsourced help.
Another thing you need is a stylist. A stylist is crucial in putting together great looks for all your photo shoots. As you know, everything is digital today, so you need really, really good videos and really, really good pictures. Even though you might be engaging your customers and taking, customer generated content, using that on your platform, you still need lookbooks, photos, videos of your outfits put together in a very interesting and nice, unique way. If you don't have this knowledge or experience or have this skill, then get a stylist that knows what they're doing, and also that brings out that extra oomph in your brand and your products, because this is what a stylist does.
You will also need a CFO or a financial controller, someone that is on top of all your money, all your cash flow. If you have credits, your income, your costs, everything, you need to be on top of your game, and this is really crucial. And at the same time as you need a CFO, you need someone that can help you with the bookkeeping. You have someone in-house that can do the bookkeeping for you, that's great, but is this really worth your time? A great way is just to outsource this so you're on top of your game and you have your books in order. This is crucial, otherwise you don't want your tax authorities on top of you and giving you fines or actually putting you out of business.
An office manager is really good to have, or a general assistant that makes sure they do everything that basically falls in between chairs from your other team members. Someone that is there to kind of help everybody out, make sure nobody's stressed, and kind of like helps out, basically solves all the problem that people don't have time to solve themselves or that they have forgotten about. So this is a really good position to fill.
We talked about a marketing position. This can be accompanied by a marketing assistant or similar, or someone great at copy, graphics that can assist creating all the content that you need, both for social media and outwards, but also product text and things you need in-house.
And on the website, and to send out to other blogs or to other newsletters or just write copy for the SEO on your own website. I think copy is underrated, and a really good copy can make a brand or break a brand, because that will be a specific tone of voice that only you have as a brand. So a really good copywriter is the extra touch on a brand. It makes all the difference.
And you have these great products, but you also want to show the world how great these products are. Whether it is in a lookbook or on your website, you need to have great photos. So employ a photographer that can help you take professional photos, both studio photos and lifestyle pictures. This is essential if you want to have a great impression.
And of course, you might be using a photographer for a studio or for when you're doing a campaign or a photo shoot. But also, it's good if you have someone in the team in your everyday life in the studio that is really good with taking pictures for all the behind scenes, for the constant content machine that you need to be creating. And sometimes you can just take a really quick short or a quick reel, and that makes all the difference. And then some people can buy the product from social media. So it's make sure you have someone with a really good photography eye or video in your team, and not just external once or twice per year.
As we mentioned, you don't need to employ all these positions. You can take on several roles yourself, and one person can take on several of them. But at least you need to have someone on your team that understands the product. And you need someone that understands the business side. If you're missing one of these parts, it's going to be really difficult to run a sustainable brand and have a long-term business. You will need to get your products out to your customers, whether it's D2C or you go wholesale or agents, distributors. You need someone in charge of all your logistics, someone in control of sending your products from one point to another.
Also, one thing that is sometimes underrated is really good customer service. Having people in your team that can love your customers, that can give love to your customers, that can solve your customers' problems. Customers come to you because they have some sort of issue. I didn't get my package. When is my package going to arrive? Then you need someone that can, most of the time nowadays, you can get a lot of that automated already on your website. There's plugins, there's programs to do that. But in the end, you will need a person that can talk on the phone to the customer. And make sure you have someone that's trained and skilled and there to offer service and support, and that knows what they're doing, because this is what's going to come back to you in the reviews, in the referrals, in someone referring your brand to their family and friends. When you have really, really good customer service, this makes, again, all the difference.
That's all for today. So speak to you next time. Bye.
Bye.